After each number, she says I'm doing great, or that the tension is leaving my body. I keep looking at her face. I feel anxious, wondering if I should cheat or close my eyes. But I keep focused on her. A long stare in the darkened room, but there is no intimacy in it at all. Quinn is only at peace to rest my gaze. Slowly, her face goes hazy. When she says 5, I blink and her face changes. Her eyes appear to be covered by a sparkly red mask, but it doesn't seem strange. I blink again, her face is a man's, complete with a goatee. Another blink, and her features morph into a butterfly. And then I blink, and I don't open my eyes again. Takes me a few seconds to realize they're closed. 10, she says, good. That's right. You are completely relaxed. I feel like I do just before I go to sleep, when the horizon of my mind widens. Now one of your hands will begin to feel heavy and one light. Both my hands feel heavy and warm upon the arms of the chair. The hand that feels light might begin to lift itself up off the chair, maybe a finger or the whole hand. I monitor my hands. They're anchored to the chair, and I'm failing at this. The arm that is heavy, it's very weighty and stiff, as if it had been made of granite, and your arm that is light, it's like a feather. It just wants to float up in the air. My right hand twitches into life and then rises higher and higher until it's over my head. There's no sense of effort, no strain. It doesn't even seem like I'm moving it. The breeze of the air conditioner eddies around it. I begin to feel as if I am spinning in the chair, even though it doesn't have wheels, even though it's absolutely still. Around and around, it's like being drunk, only I'm not dizzy. Now you will have a cheerful, pleasant memory from when you were 3, Quinn then says, of a time when your parents are alive. I have a flash. 2 tiny legs with the knees not downward, wearing red socks and blue shoes, walking, each of my hands in a big hand. 2 adult voices say in unison, 1, 2, 3, and hands lift me up. So I swing in midair, held aloft. I grin. That's good, Olivia. And now you will have a memory about the day your parents died, and my eyes dart widely under closed lids. You are safe here, Olivia. You are safe and completely relaxed. Your memory cannot harm you. You're an observer, that's all. I see my more legs, 2 sets of adult legs, both in blue jeans, facing each other. I'm standing behind one of the people and I'm little. White snow is all around. The person who is farthest away from me steps closer, so the 2 sets of knees touch. No, a voice says, and I know it's my mother's voice. She says it quietly, desperately. Earlier there had been yelling. I tilt my head up to see what's happening. My mom steps back from the other person, but then there's a gloved hand on the nape of her neck, pulling her in close, so close they're dancing. Her arms slice through the air, windmilling as they do when you put on music and dance in the living room. Something lands on my face. It's like rain. It's only hot, though. When I touch it, my fingertips come away red. At first, I think it's paint, but that doesn't make any sense. And then I know it's raining blood, pockmarking the snow. A white underneath your boot is turning scarlet. My mother is making a noise, but it isn't words. It's beyond words. I turn and I run into the woods. Chapter 26, Trust Your Gut. 2, 1, Quinn says from somewhere, outside where I am. I'm scampering in the snow, falling, crying, trying to leave the blood behind. 1, her voice is urgent, a compressed shout. You will leave the trance now, Olivia. You're safe. As if someone had just cut the string, my right hand falls down by my side. Slowly, I become aware of where I am, of what I am. I'm panting, breathing as hard as if I really had been running through the woods instead of just remembering. I open my eyes and straighten up, try to slow my breathing. What did you see? Quinn leans forward. I have to swallow before I can continue. 2 people in the woods, standing close together. My mom and someone else. She kept saying no, but the other person pulled her close and stabbed her. I raised my hand to my face, half expecting to still feel the blood freckling my cheeks. And then I ran. The terror races through me again. Putting my hands over my face, I try to put it in order the memories that I've seen I've been back since I've been back. My mom reading to me, the fresh snow, my mom being stabbed as the churned snow turned red, the bloody knife on the floor mat. Did you recognize the other person? Did you see their face? Opening my eyes, I shake my head. Quinn's eyes are the color of gas flames. I'm shivering, a tremble so fine it's like I'm vibrating. Only their legs. I guess because I was little, I couldn't see either of their faces, and I didn't understand what was going on until it was way too late. I don't think I really understood until just now. Quinn blows air through her pursed lips. No 3-year-old should ever have to understand that, and she thinks for a minute. Even if you didn't see the other person's face, did you hear them speak? No, like I knew they were yelling at each other, but it was a little bit of a memory, and the only voice I heard was my mom's, and she just kept saying no. I grabbed Quinn's hand. Her thin fingers are ice cold. Put me back under. If I can go back, I might see the killer's face. I might know who did it. Sucking in a breath, she pulls her hand back. I'm so sorry, Olivia, but I have another client coming in 10 minutes. Even if I didn't, it's not like there's a dial that I can set to take you back to an exact time. Remember, there's no guarantee you even retain the memory of the killer's face or voice. I could take you back over and over, and it might not do anything but cause you a lot of pain. But I could still have the memories. I insist, my jaw then tight. Let me ask you something, Quinn says slowly. Who else knows? What do you mean? Who else knows that you're trying to find out? Just one person, but he won't say anything, and I guess now you know why. Her voice is blunt, because if whoever did it is still around, they're not going to like you trying to find answers. But I'm not the only one who's trying to figure out what happened, at least not since my dad's jawbone was found. The police are reopening the case. That's from the outside looking in. You were 8 then. You were an eyewitness. Even if you didn't retain the memories, if whoever did this finds out about you, they're going to want to stop you. You could be in danger. I'm being careful. I have a different name now, first and last, and my hair's a different color, but my parents deserve justice. I deserve justice. I square my jaw. So, when can I come back? With a sigh, Quinn picks up her appointments calendar. My next opening is Monday at 8 at 11. I swear under my breath. I'm scheduled to work that day. We go back and forth until we find a time that works for both of us, but it's more than a week away. I don't want to wait that long. You might not have to, Quinn looks at me appraisingly. What do you mean? After a session, many people have revelations, both in dreams and while awake. Some obvious and some not so obvious. Write them down. Keep track of them. She leans closer. Trust your gut. Chapter 27. A story going around. I have to go to work, but once I'm at Fred Meyer, I move into an automaton. Duncan texts me from Zoomies, wanting to know what I learned, but I respond that it's too long to explain in a text. I'm working in the prep room with my coworker Andy snaps his fingers and says my name. Ugh, I follow his pointed finger. I've been tossed a trimmed bunch of celery into the garbage while keeping a pared off brown and broken bits on the cutting board. Oops, I retrieve the bunch and I rinse it off. Are you okay? He asks. Andy has worked here forever, and he's always warning me to lift with my legs and be careful with the produce knife. Just didn't sleep well, that's all. In my head, I'm still watching my mother flail her arms while her blood rains out onto the snow. I hear you. It's been so hot. He takes a paper towel and he runs it over his red face and what remains of his hair. Even the air conditioning here isn't keeping up. I don't feel it. I'm stuck in the bone-chilling cold of my memories. An hour later, Duncan comes in, his face full of curiosity. I asked Andy if it's okay for me to take a break and then take off my apron and ball it up. Come on, let's get out of here. I don't speak until we're alone in the cookware aisle. The hypnotist was able to take me back to that day, but I guess nothing about it is exact. Not what ends up in your memory, not where she can get you to go, but I have to swallow before I continue on. I saw it happen. I saw my mother's murder, and now I know why I told my grandma that she was dancing. Why? Duncan breathes. Because she was pinwheeling her arms, trying to get away, but the killer was yanking her close. I demonstrate feeling her helplessness in my own body. Oh my God, Duncan grabs my wrist, his eyes widening. You saw the killer? Still feeling the echoes of my mom, I step back and pull my arms away. I was only 3, remember? Probably no taller than this, and I put my hand at hip level. They were both wearing jeans and boots, and that's all I saw. Their legs, and my mom's back and arms, and her blood falling onto the snow. And then I guess I started freaking out, both in the past and now, because the hypnotist woke me up. Do you think it is someone that we knew? Was it a man or a woman? Was it your dad there? I don't know, I said miserably. I don't know. I was trying to run away, but I guess the killer must have caught me. I shiver, remembering the bloody knife on the floor of the car. That must have been awful, having to relive that. He pulls me in for a hug, and this time I don't pull away. My shoulders tremble against his chest. A second later, a surprised voice says, Duncan? We both step apart. It's a woman with thick brown blades almost to her waist. She's wearing a green apron that matches the one I'm holding. Color rises in Duncan's cheek. Oh, hi, Mom. Mom, this is Olivia. She's Nora's new neighbor. I almost put my hand out, then remember the scar and think better of it. I just say, "Nice to meet you, Mrs." Call me Audrey. Her eyes are still going back and forth between Duncan and me, and it's clear she's imagining much more between us than there really is. So you're Nora's neighbor, huh? If you've just moved into the neighborhood, then you might not know about the big barbecue we have every summer. It's this Friday at 6. I don't know if Duncan invited you yet, but you should come. Thank you. I try to sound perky and normal, like I wasn't just talking about blood raining on snow. That sounds fun. I can come over after I get off at 8. Should I bring something? Don't worry about it, she waves her slender hand. Just bring yourself. We'd better get going, Mom, Duncan says. Olivia's on break, and she wants to go to Starbucks. I say goodbye. Once we're out of his mom's earshot, I say, I get the feeling your mom wants a chance to check me out. Duncan's cheeks get a little redder. I've been thinking, if we pretend to be boyfriend and girlfriend, it could be a good cover for us spending time together. Maybe, I say, drawing the words out. Before the cops show up at my door, I would have wanted to be far more than Duncan's pretend girlfriend. But now, finding my parents' killer is the only thing that matters. And the party will give you a chance to check out people. Half of Medford comes, even Chief Spaulding. Everyone's going to be talking about the murders. At Starbucks, I order a grande latte, hoping it will warm me up. I also get a scone since I got up too late to have breakfast. We sit in the empty corner. Duncan takes a sip of his iced coffee. I was talking about it with my dad this morning. He said there's a story going around about Samantha. Sam? I guess when she was in high school, her mom had to work two jobs because her dad was basically a junk. Once Sam and her dad got in a fight, this got into this big fight. After they saw blood on her sweater, the neighbors thought he had hurt her and called the police. It turned out that she was the one who had hurt him. Duncan sucked in a breath. And, get this, she stabbed him. What? Dad said it was just a paring knife, and her dad refused to press charges. Still, my dad said people were talking about it now. Even Duncan must be starting to realize that just because you know someone doesn't mean that they can't be a killer. So Sam and Jason, I say, do they come to this party your parents throw? Every year.